What is it? Come. If Anakatos wishes us to retrieve this circlet, we will do it quickly. I wish to be done with this. Farewell. Be cautious.
Now, die!
There. That is the artifact you seek. The Circlet of Arcades. By taking it, Arcades' grave becomes an empty tomb. Let us depart. Anakatos has had his fun with me, and there is nothing left to plunder. They are colossi who succumb to the burden of this wilderness, letting it transform them into mindless brutes. They have the strength of our strongest, with none of the wisdom. It is nothing I can share with you, Beckoned. It is not worth your time. I always thought that were I to come to Arcades' crypt, it would be because of the work of gods alone. And here I am, by the will of none but Anakatos, flesh and blood. I cannot! I will not! Even after all these years, he has not forgotten his brand of viciousness. He knows I must obey his command. I apologize for my outbursts. However, it can be hard to let convictions go. But we must. We must. Take the circlet back to Anakatos. He is most likely waiting for you. Farewell.
pay for that wrong!
What are you? You are... Oh, not! You're my size! My size! This can't be! I knew I shouldn't have eaten that lichen earlier. Cave slime never agrees with me. I've lived in these tunnels for years. There are plenty of hazards, but they only pose problems for strangers. I hold dominion over all you see here. I have been left to my devices to rule as I see fit. I may seem harsh, but all my subjects will tell you I am fair. The living giants, they stay away from me, and it's for the best. Can't let them know I'm here. What? You mean you walk these halls and know nothing of their lord and holder? I am the king of this undersewer, protector of this whole expanse. Divine providence. Once I wandered the lands below, living in caverns, in a base attempt for subsistence. But then the earth was left below me, and I was raised into a city in the sky. Your mistake. If that's supposed to be groveling, then you need to brush up on your etiquette. But I suppose I can allow such insolence to be humored for this one time. I haven't had much in the way of company out here. Oh, you're welcome to some of the cave slime, if you're hungry. There's plenty for everyone. By my leave, I'm sure.
Beckoned? It seems my preconceptions were off. But I still need your divine aid. The plague spreads. Are you enjoying its splendors? This fair city is rich with them. Even in the sewers, under its gleaming exterior, lies a feat of engineering unrivaled by other cities in Amalur. Lycaeus breeds thinkers, philosophers. They spend their days pondering the greater meaning of existence. Such are their debates that they shake the very foundations of Idylla. For some time, non-believers have touted that the relevance of the Lycaeus has passed. But I'm confident all it needs is one brilliant lecturer to stoke its fires. I am a mason, one of many caretakers of the sewers. A hidden menace, the secret horde. Though few acknowledge them, the rats are the great threat to this city. In my younger days, I hunted the vermin with a force of will unequaled by the greatest of the theologians in the Lycaeus. I have worked on this city for all my lifetime. The sewers that run below it are my masterpiece. But this work of art is besmirched by rats. These foul vermin run rampant in my catacombs, tainting it with their fetid presence. Try as I might, I cannot best the scourge. But you, Beckoned, your divine intervention is needed. I have never known beasts with such low cunning and high birth rates. They are fearless as they are disgusting. I have pinpointed a much-traveled route used by the rats and seeded it with traps that can be activated on command. Find the levers that activate those traps. They've been placed on a ledge overlooking the route. When you see the rats pass below, simply pull the levers as they approach the traps. Slay the filthy vermin. Once I hunted the rats that plague our sewers with such... Though I rest, the rats do not. Please, I wish you well.
Can the Beckoned be so small? I expected the Beckoned would arrive sooner or later.
Ah, the famed Beckoned comes to me at last. Admittedly, my request might be the smallest you will hear, but I wish to voice it nonetheless. I do not forget Arcades, or what he did for my people. He led us here and started this city, but most cannot see past his flaws. How do you find our city, Beckoned? Grand, is it not? It is the great island of progress, as I see it. But even it cannot forget the world it left below. All the rocks you see, here and in the sewers, once rested in the teeth of Naros. This is a place for those who are weary of their burdens. If you feel so, you can rest for a while. I'm just one who's intent on maintaining the cultural integrity of her people. We were once no nobler than the Jotun or the Etin. Some would purge this history, but then how will we remember it? To preserve the past. All around us is the great chisel and hammer of progress, keen on dragging my people towards enlightenment. But such progress means nothing without context. I wish for someone who can find artifacts of my ancestors, reminders of our simpler times. Very good. I'll reward you for any artifacts you can find, but larger artifacts will do well for both of us. I wait your findings. They are little things, of no intrinsic value. But as my people are so convinced to make progress, these artifacts are the few records of who we once were. They are strewn throughout the teeth of Naros. They may be hidden in forgotten corners, or carried by beasts as trophies. Be careful with them. I pray you are finding the work suited to you, Beckoned. The task is small, but not insignificant. Be careful with them.
I expected the beckoned would arrive sooner or later.
The gods are good to us.
Well done, Beckoned. The Masons tell me the pressure in the cisterns has yielded. It seems we have you to thank yet again. Please take this in thanks. Well, I expect that someone in the teeth got a nasty shock if they were hit with the runoff from the cisterns. Thank you for your help. Aye, we get them now and again. But when a primal sprite shows up, well, that's a problem of a different sort. Glad to know that the items were found without too much trouble. Thank you, Beckoned. Grim tidings. We shall be more careful with our surveys, I'm sure. But that's a cold comfort to the surveyor's family. Thank you for returning her report. Well done, Beckoned. The nest of primal sprites and their thralls has been removed. Please take this as a token of Idilla's gratitude. The little nits are taken care of, I take it. Good, then. Who needs them?
You bear the circlet of Arcase. Then the wreath is almost complete. The foundation is gold with runes of prayer, as I said. Now, it must be woven with blood and toil. The colossi furnish the foundation and nature furnishes the trappings. The laurels of the wreath are not crafted, but earned. We seek Teryx veins. Once they are ours, once the wreath is complete, the ritual of atonement can begin. I take it you have encountered a Teryx before. Likely the mongrel carrion-eating scavengers that plague us. They are a common foe. We seek the veins of the Alpha Teryx. They are fierce and proud, all that is wild and savage in nature. To prove to the gods the righteousness of our faith, then we must conquer a mighty foe. They will serve. They are vicious beasts, wild and strong. The Alphas, our quarry, are particularly fierce. The gods sent you to bear witness to our atonement. To do that, we must complete the Wreath of Absolution. The Wreath is made from the large feathers, the veins of the Teryx alphas. They live in Eries to the south. We are so close now.
And it would seem that the deliverer of my people has found me at last. Many honored greetings to you, Beckoned. If you would, I have more than pleasantries to discuss. Like many, I seek your prowess. The beacon shows the path the Colossi must walk again. So it has always been claimed. It is a grand city, worthy of protection. I strive to guard its citizens from the menaces below us, in the teeth of Naros. Looking at the Colossi here, you will find we have it in ourselves to be truly great. But we are also capable of much violence. I have lost much to the beasts of this land. I aim to ensure that none share this sorrow. A culling. Though the Colossi are a people of faith, more and more of us are reverting to the savage ways of our ancestors. The lowest of these doubters become marauders, bloodthirsty and violent, capable of nothing but wrath. They must be purged. I thank you. It is high time we bring their savagery to an end. Each marauder should carry a totem of some sort. Bring those to me as proof of your deeds. The marauders have lost their reason, but not their strength. If they catch you unawares, you will not have much time left. They roam the lands below the city. I do not doubt that you will find them if you seek them out in the wilds. You have come again. Is there anything else you require?
What is it? Unless you can somehow convince the guards to let me leave the city, you're only wasting my time. I'm sorry. It just makes you a little crazed, you see, being locked inside this city like a penned animal. All I want is to leave for a short time to travel to the Warren and check on my wife, Galatea. But I cannot leave. My wife and I were separated when the city was razed. I believe her to still be in the teeth of Naros. I hope she is unharmed. This city is the child I never had. I poured myself into this stone, these edifices, these reliefs. But now I have been here so long that these walls have lost their charm. They are only the bars of a prison to me. The stone used to build this city was dug out from the Warren. It was our main quarry, but much of it is inaccessible now. The rest is home to beasts. I am one of Idila's finest masons, so much so that it seems I am an institution amongst my people. It seemed nice at first, but they handle me like a work of art, with too much caution. I did not choose to leave her beckoned. I wanted her to come with me, but she can be difficult to move to action sometimes. But I cannot retrieve her now, for I am one of the city's finest masons. The guard are under orders not to let me leave, so I do not die. All I want to know is that she is unharmed. But I've done so well for this city that I am forbidden from departing. Well, you can certainly try, but Galatea is stubborn as stone. Would you truly beckon? That is something. At least I will be certain that she is unharmed. I left her in the ruins of the Warren, the city's old quarry. You should search there for her. We were separated when the city was razed. I last saw her in the... Please find my wife.
Watch your step in the concourse.
What can I... Anacotis walks among us, and the citizens are awed. This act seems small to you.
Yes. What do you need of me?
Very well.
Who's there? Who wanders into my camp? What is this? You are far too small to be a colossi. So it's true then. The beckoned has come. Most find it completely inhospitable, but I find that it is not so difficult if you try a different sort of living. Yes, the plants are unpalatable and the beasts cunning. But you can't expect nature to offer you wine and sweets if all you do is ask. I once tried to forge peace between the Jotun and the Colossi, but as I did, I became enamored of the simplicity they enjoy. I have taken to living in this old camp to try and enjoy it as I can. The heads of the city's inhabitants are as high in the clouds as the city itself, with their talk of religion and righteous gods. I much prefer to stay closer to the ground and stick to my roots. The Jotun have wronged the Colossi in the past, but the Colossi have a shared history with them. It was right to grant them mercy. They act like they are above everything, but they are mud and dust, like everything else in this world. They just aren't decent enough to admit it. This is my home, but not for much longer. I moved out here to reconnect with my roots, you see. My heritage as a giant race. However, my time on my own has come to an end. I am ready to take the next step and go and live amongst the Jotun of the Teeth of Naros. There are only loose ends that need to be taken care of, but I have sworn off Idylla for all days I have left. Karunk was my chief concern with me trying to move in with the Jotun. Now that he is dead, it seems to be the perfect time to do this. The logical step is that I must live among the Jotun. Yes, I do. I have lived on my own in this abandoned Jotun camp long enough. Would you? I will reward you for your help. I will not be needing the coin where I am going. I want for my family ring, currently in the hands of my brother Heliodorus, and to see my journal delivered to my old comrade Darius. But perhaps most of all, I want you to find my wife, Corina. I would like you to bring her here to me. You must retrieve my family ring, deliver my journal, and speak with my wife. The ring is currently in the possession of my rather odious brother Heliodorus in Idylla. I doubt he will surrender it kindly. He hides it in the living quarters of Idylla. You can try liberating the ring yourself, or finding a way of dealing with my brother. Convince Karina to come down from the city and see me. If you could bring her here, then I can talk her into living with me and the Jotun. My journal needs to be delivered to my friend, Darius. He is most likely camped out somewhere in the teeth of Naros. Be quick, Beckend. I must get to the Jotun soon. Stay safe.
I hear you.
Can the Beckend be so small?
You must be the Beckoned. What brings the Beckoned to me on this day? Mine is the duty to safeguard the Colossi from any threat, so Secondra has charged all the guard. The Primos is the leader of our people in prayer and in other matters of life. They are appointed by Athene herself. I understand that you and she have met. She is powerful, is she not? Truly a paragon of might and virtue. You have seen Histus? I have not heard from him in so long. I was worried something had happened to him. What business has he sent you on? That fool! He is as oblivious and idealistic as the day I took him for my husband. Very well, I will see him after straightening out some affairs. If you require supplies, the concourse market provides everything.
Keep the peace. How may I serve?
What's this? Do you bring news from below? With my brother indisposing himself, it falls to me to keep watch over my family's estate, little though it is. Histus has the nerve to call himself a brother, living in the wilds, acting like a savage. Might as well be a marauder. Look at this place. Why would anyone choose the wilds below over this? They are the lowest. Colossi without faith, mindless, violent, and forever despairing. My family has done much for this city, so we are given our own private station in these quarters. They serve well enough, but I cannot say they compare to the home we had before we came to these blasted lands. My brother? I would hardly consider Histus family anymore. He left that behind when he turned his back on civilization, like one of those marauders. What business has he sent you on, Beckend? Is that so? Well, you can tell him that if he wants the family ring so badly, then he can come up here and claim it himself. Well, the ring is an heirloom, so to speak, but there is little wisdom in hanging on to such things, should their time be reached. It is in my chest over there. Here is the key. Yes, farewell.
I expected the beckoned would arrive sooner or later.
Welcome, Beckon. Hello there, Beckon. Been traveling in the teeth of Naros? I am a diplomat, so to speak. Though they lack our grace, some of the brutes of this place have in them a shred of reason. The marauders were once thinking, feeling colossi, and the Jotun were kin as well. I must try to appeal to their wisdom. The teeth of Naros is a very dangerous place. Even those that know the dangers well can still find themselves at its mercy, or lack thereof. Istus is a dear friend of mine, formerly a peer, but as we tried to build ties with the Jotun, well, things turned. With this city still being incomplete, I have found myself more interested in research than the gods. We have been given the light of Athene, but we should share that with as many as we can. The Jotun have old ties to the Colossi, very old ones. We marshaled their strength for the glory of Athene before we came here. We felt ourselves their custodians. But they viewed us as masters, and their resentment only grew from there. We have earned much for our closeness with the gods, but we have a duty to share that connection with all of Amalur. This is Histus's research, so that must mean he is preparing to go live with the Jotun. I cannot say I completely agree with Histus's methods, but I can respect his intent with his research. Thank you, Beckon. Wish him the best for me. Be careful. There is nothing safe down here, nothing.
Hello, Beckoned. You must be the Beckoned, the blessed visitor from an unknown land. But perhaps, if you have the strength to reach these lands alone, then you are strong enough to aid me. There were tomes and prayers written in your honor centuries ago. We were forced to leave them behind, but if only you had seen them. I managed to do what I can in the way of study. There are few resources available for a student of history out here. But it is important nonetheless. Where would we be if not for historians? How would we have acclimated to this land so quickly? I would prefer to stay within the sturdy walls of Idylla, but nothing can really substitute for practical experience, can it? This is the homeland of the trolls, so to speak. I aim to study them, so I must do so in the wild. Idylla is indeed the most beautiful city one will ever see, for the gods themselves inspired it. Imposing and indignant creatures, we Colossi have managed to drive the majority of them from this vicinity. But those that remain have started digging. For what? I don't truly know. Only that they seek some means of retribution. I have been studying the trolls in the area and have seen something of great concern. The trolls have unearthed a number of urns which possess a deadly magic. They are curious, for as long as we have been here, my people have not encountered the like of these urns, nor the ashes they contain. I lack the strength to face the magics of these urns, but Athene is in your thoughts. You could destroy them. The trolls believe these urns to be artifacts of the god Naros, but the ashes they contain have a vile, corrupting magic. I fear what may happen if the trolls are left in control of these urns, and the power they contain. Thank you for your help with this. The ashes contained in those urns are too dangerous. There are troll dens scattered around the teeth. It is probably best to start your search there. However, you will be able to feel the dark magic when you are near to one of the urns. Safe travels, Beckoned.
Don't see many new faces out here. So you have completed the tasks, but I do not see Corina. Then her choice is made. Well, there is no more putting this off. I must take my leave. Well, the Jotun go with bare feet, so I will as well. Take my sandals, Beckoned. They may be of some use to you. Perhaps you are right. The Jotun are not exactly the most reasonable of creatures when it comes to outsiders. I suppose I could wait and observe them a bit longer before I make an attempt to live with them. Thank you for your help, Beckoned. You truly speak with the wisdom of Athene. Stay safe.
By the magnificent graces of Athene, a city was built upon gloried heights. So stood Idylla in bountiful tribute, the Colossi basking the virtue of the Uranos. We build this city. We build this city. We are here. That is good. I feel hope stirring in my veins once more. It is the prospect of reconciliation that has granted me a second youth. Come. We must kill the alphas of each Eyrie. With their veins in hand, we shall fulfill the gods' wishes. The Teryx Eyries lie in the wilds of the Teeth of Naros, to the south of the city. We need not look far to find what we seek. But while there are many lesser Teregs here, we seek only the plumage of their strongest and brightest. These are the true challenge. Salvation awaits. Feel my wrath! Feel Balin's embrace! Thus we begin. And as we harvest these trophies, you shall learn the journey the Colossi have taken to get here. Once we were but savages, no better than the other giant kin. We were called Myru. And to that identity we were chained, until one day, Athene spoke to us. She spoke of a destiny and greatness that was not ours, but could be. She showed us the path of ascension, and we followed it here, to the teeth of Naros. No, we are far from the homeland of our ancestors. Undoubtedly the gods wished us to renounce our savage history. It was necessary. Though the Jotun and Etin once regarded us as kin, they grew jealous of us, of the strength we gained from the gods' favor. Tensions rose to war. It was a sign from Athene to my people to seek a new homeland, where the bounty of her wisdom could be harvested eternally. Salvation awaits. Feel my wrath! Feel Balin's embrace! We wandered the teeth of Naros in search of the homeland we were promised. And when hope seemed lost, we found the Hyperion. It was a divine artifact. No mortal hand could have crafted it, a massive stone, alone in the wilderness, with the image of a floating city engraved upon its surface. At the city's heart was the Hyperion itself. We knew then Athene was tasking us to craft this wondrous city, to form a covenant. But we betrayed that ideal. To test our worthiness, the gods have strewn throughout Amalur riddles, puzzles, and challenges. Answering them demonstrates our greatness. The Hyperion is one such challenge. Perhaps the greatest of them. And though we discovered it years before, we still do not have the answer. It is a riddle carved of stone that the gods left for us. It shows a city of the clouds, with the Hyperion itself floating at its heart. It was a covenant the gods wished to form with us, to raise Idylla and the Hyperion with it. But the riddle is difficult, and we have no answer for it. Very well, Beckoned. Feel Balin's embrace. Feel my wrath. Feel Balin's embrace! Feel Balin's embrace! In the end, the city rose, but the Hyperion did not follow. The heart of the city remained unmoved. That we could not abide. My predecessor, Arcades, sought to force the Hyperion up. The Hyperion rejected him, killing him and his followers, and sealed itself away. Our work here is concluded. As a show of thanks, take this helm. Once reserved for our strongest fighters, it is only fitting you receive it. The cipher you carry is a conduit to the gods, to their wisdom, their judgment, and their power. You carry it, and thus you are their intermediary, since you will bear witness to the ritual of atonement. Gods will as well. I must make the gods see that my people can be redeemed for the faults of Arcades. With the wreath in hand, I can conduct a ritual of atonement. As you bear the cipher, the conduit to the gods, you will bear witness. Come, we must conduct this ceremony at the site of our original transgression. Let us go to the Hyperion. If it will not, then why were you brought to me? To give pretense to salvation, to raise our hopes, only to crush them with failure? I know the gods of my forerunners. They would not flaunt the answer to their riddles without sharing it. Now come. The Hyperion awaits. Salvation awaits. Tragedy befell these giants, as in trying to force the Hyperion upwards, Athene was angered and made her rage known. So the life was driven from some, the faith from many.
Forgive our trespasses, and bless us with wisdom. Athene the all-knowing, in whose name we pray.
You must be the one I've been hearing so much talk about. The one that has been beckoned by Athene. You are truly someone special. Special enough that perhaps you could help me with a task that has been of great concern to me. We have always known that in our darkest times, the gods would send the beckoned. Now that you are here, should I be worried? I am a loyal follower of Secandra and the Colossi Guard. If you walk safely in these lands, it is thanks to us, in part. This small shrine acts as a conduit of the god's power. It uses only small portions of this power, but if we could get it activated... This place is crawling with vicious beasts, beckoned, but more dangerous are the marauders. The city is strong and beautiful. I hope it is the first of many other great Colossi works. We came to this land years ago, and yet we are still strangers here. We are strong, and we are loved by the gods, or so I am told. But I cannot shake this feeling that, despite our virtues, we are not strong enough for this land. They were Colossi, but they gave up completely on the gods. They have reverted to barbarism now, and kill any they find. I seek to restore this shrine, so that the patrols of the Teeth of Naros can take use of it. The shrine carries the blessings of the gods, relaying them to special litanies. However, the magics of the shrine have worn out. But it can be repaired. With 5 of these litanies, the magics of the shrine can be restored. The shrine is a conduit of the gods' blessings. From healing magics to invulnerability, much could be gained for the devoted.
But the blessings of this shrine could be relayed to special litanies, so that the magics could be enjoyed from anywhere. The shrine has lost its magic, but it could be restored if we can bring 5 litanies back to it. Thank you, friend. I would search myself, but I would need to leave my post to do so. And I must keep the watch. 5. Yes, 5 litanies should hold enough magic to restore the altar to working condition. Gather them, and bring them here. They are scattered throughout the teeth of Naros. I could not say their exact locations, but if you look hard enough, you will find them. Be careful on your travels.
Greetings.
You destroyed all the urns? What a relief! Their dark magic will no longer be attainable by the trolls. You can withstand these magics. Perhaps you can make use of this artifact I've uncovered. A grim shield, but strong. Safe travels, Beckoned.
I hope you find Idylla to your liking.
How goes the search for my Galatea? Any news of her yet? Yes. And how was it? Was it unharmed? That statue is my wife, Galatea, so to speak. In truth, my wife is dead. Murdered by a monstrous troll named Kern years before. I carved that statue to remember her by. Every year on the anniversary of her death, I work on it more so that I never forget her face. But even that has been denied me. So the only solace I have left is knowing my wife's killer is dead. Find Kern, Beckett, and bring his end for me. Please. My wife was killed by a troll down in the Warren. All I have left to remember her by is a But as I am forbidden to leave the city, the only comfort I have is knowing the statue is still intact. Go back to the Warren and search for him there. That is where he ambushed my wife and me years before. Take care.
And you return to me. I hope you are finding this work well suited to you. Very well. I shall endeavor to reward you for your labors.
Many greetings, stranger.
I hope you find Idylla to your liking.
You have slain Kern. I now have the peace of mind to know that my wife's murderer is no longer around to torment her grave. I cannot thank you enough. I have little of my own, but take these. The gauntlets I wore when I first started carving stone. May they serve you. I miss her every day, but there is some small comfort in knowing that her death has been avenged. Take care.
And now he dies!
My assistant has returned. What do you need of me? Good day.
Ugh.
Good day. If Secandra feels that she can trust you, then you have my faith and respect as well, Beckon. Go, place them at the litany altar, and it will activate the magic of all the other litanies throughout the Teeth of Naros. Take care out here. Now that you have placed the litanies at the litany altar and activated their magic, any other litanies you may come across will be helpful to you. Here is one I found while you were searching for the 5 to place at the litany altar. Take it as a reward. Thank you for your help, Beckoned. You've restored the magic of the shrine. Now the patrols and I can finally make use of it. And you as well, of course. Farewell, Chosen One. I hope you find Idylla to your liking.
The gods are good to us.
I hope you are beckoned. You've returned. The rats are diminished, though some yet remain. I should warn the city to stay vigilant against them. Still, I ask that you take this as a token of my appreciation. Here is gold for your trouble. And take this amulet as well. It marks you as one of the city's illustrious sewer masons. Wear it with pride.
Many greetings, stranger.
Greeting. You have come again. Is there anything else you... Very well. I shall endeavor to...
Watch your step in the concourse.